Yo, how's everybody doing? We just had We just had a kick-off Mother's Day weekend with the matriarch of masculinity, the lady that muscled up Mike, her oldest son, a professional boxing coach. To her, I ain't done yet, baby Adrian Pequeno.
God damn it.
Professional 2-0 boxer. But wait, her power didn't stop there. The matriarch mama made a Miss Future World Champion, turning pro this year, Alaya. Pequeñita, bonita, soul sleeper, give her a what's up. You guys are universal. Thank you so much for coming out to Jimmy's World. And so, who do we start with?
It's a whole table. We got a whole family.
I think we saved the best friend last week. I think Mama goes last. And let's go in order of who's born first. No, the baby to the older to the baby. Because I think I want Alaya to have her own segment. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but I want to hear a little bit about y'all. I want to hear everything about her.
All right. Well, I'm the youngest. The youngest of four, Adrian Pequeno.
No Plex
Pequeno.
Mr. 2-0 boxer, ESPN is ducking him, top rank, offered him a fight and took it away.
Son, I was there hitting people through the rope, son. Man, body shot.
Who showed you how to throw those ones and twos and however y'all call those things? Is that Mike? Is that Big Mike?
Yeah, we call it 1-2, the 1-2-3, and we might hit you with the 4.
Okay.
Mike Pequeno.
Mike Pequeno.
So I do want to know. So I guess boxing runs in the family. It's a family affair.
Yeah, it sure is. Adrian wanted to start boxing at 16 years old, and one day he went trained, and he was like, "Hey, Mike, you need to come out here." I couldn't make it at that time. I was too deep in the streets, but we used to spar each other all the time. So Adrian's the one who got it started.
You were deep in the streets. Was like it flooded or something?
How deep?
Out the mud, you were out the mud.
Houston floods. So everybody, all you listeners outside of Texas, I mean, in Houston it floods a lot. So I didn't know if it was deep in those streets. It was Hurricane Harvey streets, or what that means, or you're doing that.
Elaborate on this.
Nah, well, I'm talking about we were trying to get it, just like anybody else. You know what I mean? We were young, we wanted money, we had ambition, and we had a plan. You know what I mean? So we weren't working no 9 to 5, but we were trying to get it how it came.
But you know what's beautiful? Here I look at a man that went through whatever he went through in life, and he raised a child. You know, a child into a beautiful young lady. Much ups to her. Engineers throw that clap in, clap. Yes, So tell us, Alaya, what made you say one day, you know what? Was it just like, maybe you got tired of dad, someone learned how to beat him up? Or what made you say, I'm going to pick the gloves up and lace up?
Honestly, I was a soccer player. I used to play for an elite team in the Woodlands, Texas Rush, and I was really, really good at what I did. But one day, I got tired of a team sport. And honestly, I said, I want to do something where it's me. If I lose because I lost, not because my team sucked.
I love it. That made me remember a quote. There's that movie Troy. If you guys ever watch Troy, there's Achilles. Achilles said, Achilles. Achilles. There was a guy that said, he didn't like war, and he didn't want. And he goes, that's why nobody will remember your name.
So that was a deep part.
Yeah, Alaya was like, he will remember Alaya
for sure.
Pequeñita, bonita, so sleeper. You're in first.
Yes, sir.
Last time we had you on here. So this is the famous brother that got you all ready for the fight. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's the one that raised me up, beat me up.
Yeah,
that's No Plex talking.
Yeah, that's No Plex right here. I took a lot of ass whoopings. Let me say it that way. Luckily I had mama. Mama had my back. I was the youngest of the four, so. But
so like Tupac's up.
Yeah, and what made you want to fight? Mr. Mike, what made you want to be a trainer? And what made you think that, hey, I want to fight? This is what I love. And is this what you love doing?
I love doing it. You know what I mean? You got plumbers out there, you got people who build houses, you got cops out there.
Why you look at me when you said that?
Hey.
I just like to punch people in the face.
I'm not your normal plumber. I lay pipe, bro. No, but actually, I was lucky to speak to you for a few minutes, for a while, actually, like 2-3 hours the other day when we were in the gym with Texas Raiders in Porter, and you said something to me. You said, hey, it's a calling to me to see these children, to see these kids that come in there and almost aimlessly are just hitting bags and and there's no direction, and then maybe at home there's a misdirection, you know, or maybe the father's doing something wrong. And you're like, I just don't want, you know, I want them to have the opportunities that maybe I didn't have, and I want to give it to them. So much up to you, man, because it takes a lot for a man to work all day and then still come back and put in work for someone else's child. So for that, man, you the worst.
Let me say one thing on that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we got a good God. I keep Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put it like this: if my Father looks out for me, I gotta look out for the people who ain't got that Father there, or not necessarily, or ain't got the direction to put them in the right way. You know what I mean? We've been in the wrong. Now it's time to go right. You know what I mean? So we've been through some things in life. So I feel like we can get back to the children by telling them the things that we've been through and guiding them in the right way. And that's how I feel. You know what I mean? You got to point these kids in the right direction and let them do their thing.
Hey, learn from our mistakes.
Oh yeah. I have a question though. I'm not gonna go all religious on you guys. I have a question because every time I talk to someone that you know has the fear of God or the love of God, I always ask them, is it the fear or the love?
Both.
And I always get the same answer. I haven't gotten that. I have not hit that point in my religious, you know, direction yet. I was 18 years of altar boy at St. Philip of Jesus in Colorado. And if you ask me, it was always the fear, because I'm Catholic. It was always the fear.
Yeah, it's kind of like your parents, right? Whoever that figure is in your life that puts that in you, they instill the fear of God. And at the same time,
scared of nothing. That's why they say this, both. We give fear and
but you get it, the chakra, dog. But you get it, and that's who you love. You're like, you know what? They really love me. It's the moment that they stop taking care of you or criticizing what you do is when you should be worried. When someone don't talk to you or look at you, that's when you should worry.
It's the two things, though. Look, first of all, if you read the word, it says you got to fear the Lord. Then you know what they say? God is love. So if you put fear and love together, what's that say? It answers your question.
Wow, man.
Deep,
I love it. And you know what? At some point we're going to get to the matriarch mama, the main lady, but but you know what? What we were talking about, I saw Elijah kind of, you know, I pick up on mannerisms like, all right, for y'all don't know, I got my butt kicked a lot in boxing. I ain't good, but I can suck a shoulder, I can look at a hip and a lip, and you move your mandible. What do you want to tell us?
Well, you're saying the fear or the love. In my opinion, I feel like it's the love, because when you feel that love, I feel like there's no greater love. You know?
Oh wow, beautiful. See, she brings the beauty to it. Wow. Yeah. You know what I'm looking at here? It's like destruction. I'm joking. Hey, cause Mike will kick your ass. I mean, hey, make sure you don't talk over them guys. I'm letting y'all know now. I have pictures here. I've seen them train big dudes and put them in shape. So
I got a question, man. I mean, you trained your brother, right? You trained your brother.
Yes, sir.
Now you're training your daughter, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, man, I mean, how does it feel, man? I mean, putting them in the ring and then seeing them get hit. Do you feel like, oh my God? What do you feel when you see that?
Well, first of all, when it comes to my daughter, ain't too many people can touch her. When she's dodging,
the more you sweat, the less you bleed, baby.
hey, when she's ducking and dodging and she's on her end game, I promise you, ain't too many people can hit her. Now, Adrian, he's a different story. Adrian's made it still, you know what I'm saying? You may hit Adrian. Yeah, you may hit Adrian with one good one, but I guarantee he's going to hit you with at least 3 or 4. He's coming.
So you got mad confidence in you.
I got mad confidence. I feel like if they both in the top shape, I promise you this, can't nobody stop them. And I don't give a damn who's listening or who's hearing this. I'm telling you right now, if these two are in shape, can't nobody stop them. And I'll tell you this, Adrian's older at this time, 35 years old, but I promise you this, if he can push it until this thing goes, man, Adrian, 2 future champions of the world.
You gotta do it. Man, we saw a video on the Tigre, we saw a video where you were going, pop, 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 pop. He's in the back, right? And he said, can't nobody stop me, can't nobody rock me. I'm a tank. If you can't stop me, you can't drop me. What you gonna do in the ring? Talk to me. What he said. If you fans get their hands up, dude, say it for us. Can you remember it? Can you spit it out? Because goddamn it turned me the hell on.
I know. I said if my fans can keep their hands up, I'm gonna keep my hands up, and I'm gonna be throwing.
There you go.
You know, a solid defense makes for a hell of an offense.
He's a rapper too, because you know what he said. Hey,
all this shit.
So what he said was, what's he gonna do to me? Talk to me? I said, oh damn, he just told the other fighter, you gonna come here and talk to me? I said, shit. That was my plan actually. I planned if I ever sparred, because one day, so I met Adrian through Movida Fight Management, and we're at a theater promotions about last December at a main event, and the dude everybody loves him, like, oh, this guy knows everybody.
Yeah.
And mind you, he's a fun guy, and I you know me, I'm fun as shit. So we're out there, we're hanging out, we're drinking, and we actually start commentating the fight. Mike hits him up and tells us, "Hey, shut the fuck up! Don't delete that." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, we don't have too much fun." But there was a moment where he was just dissecting the fight, and then I told him who I was there with and whatnot. And he says, "Hey, I'm gonna come to the gym and box. You know, I'll come to the gym and spar with you."
Yeah.
I was like, "I ain't gonna spar you. We're going to lunch."
Now he's like, what was your main deal with that?
What, sparring?
Like he made forget y'all was sparring?
Oh yeah, because the thing is, he'll train you, but if you hit him, he forgets, and he just goes. And so I was like, nah, man, you ain't hit me like that. I got pictures to take, man. I got kids. It was December 18th when the fight, right? I got Christmas cards coming out. I can't get my face rocked. So hey, we're no longer a dude, the one, the only. Who wants to introduce her? It's Evelyn. Come on,
Miss Evelyn. What's going on?
Hey, continue playing.
Mama, there.
Mama, the one where it all started.
Oh,
yeah.
speak on it.
Well, I'm very proud of these children here. Well, my babies.
There you go.
The
You
baby.
know, they'll
What you
always
say
be
about
my
babies?
babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
My love.
That's how I look at them. There's nothing that could ever take that love, you know, and I'll go all the way for them.
Dandelion flower and it's got bit by a bee or something.
I admire my sons. There's no one that can ever tell me anything bad about them. And Alaya always said, Grandma, tell them the truth when they hurt you. I said, oh, sometimes it's really hard to do that because I love my sons so much. And she says, yes, but if you don't tell them the truth, how are they ever going to know? I said, Lana, you're right. I'm going to start doing it. And you know what? I mean, it's came a long ways. And these guys, I'm very proud of them for what they're doing today. And Alaya as well.
So
I stand behind them.
And hey, like that old saying, you know, you're only as good as the woman behind you. And it looks like no matter what in the world, you got the strong woman, the matriarch, the pillar of this family. So I want to later on. I'm gonna ask about life in boxing for you know a team because you will both live through it. But then I'm gonna ask. What I do want to ask right now is what made the first punch be thrown? What made you say I want to be a boxer? Or you know, was it mom said, hey, jump in the car? You know, I need you to give me some energy. Like, well, what made you? What started this career that is obviously going in the right direction? Because I was, just so people know, we started managing fighters, and I had never talked to people on ESPN until I met Adrian.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll tell you what, the first thing that really got me going is a vision. Just having a vision of being great and just knowing that there's something that I've always seen, whether it was dreams or what, you know, I always felt like I was the top dog, you could say. I was always made to be a champ. And whenever I was in the locker room one day and I heard about boxing, I heard two gentleman speaking on boxing, it caught my ear. I said, that's what I want to do. So I interrupted them. Two strangers didn't know a thing about them. Yeah. Hey, what are y'all talking about? Where y'all go box at? They broke it down to me. And, me and my brother, we were separated. My brother was living with my father at the time in South Texas, and I was up here in Cairo, Texas. So I didn't really have nobody like my big brother. Me and my big brother, we were raised together. We went through good, through bad. He was always there for me whenever, mama wasn't there. She was out working day and night trying to make ends meet, and he was there to look over me. Well, he went with my dad, 7 hours away. And I didn't have nobody to lean on. So, like Elias said, she needed something that she was going to be good in. She didn't need no other team.
Yeah, that could be hard.
Yeah, so that boxing, that's where I found my spot. Just let out anger.
Get your discipline.
I heard an interview you were on before one of your fights, and the one that you knocked the guy through the ropes, and you said you used to ride your bike 6 miles to go get your butt kicked. You said, and I didn't care. I kept going back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where it all started.
So for all you kids that say, hey, my mom didn't get off work on time, so I didn't go to the gym. Screw you. You get on a bike and 6 miles, man. Because a champ is inside the heart, man. It's a myth. Championships are myths.
That's right. So
it only lives in the hearts of those that believe in it.
Yes.
Back to Mama. Now I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked him. So when you see your babies in the ring, do you hurt, like I said, Rocky? I seen the movie Rocky. You seen the movie Rocky, right?
Yes.
Right. And
Adrian
says, "You get punched, I get punched." Right? Do you feel the same way?
I really have confidence in what they do, and I've never really seen them get hit. I cry of happiness because I see them win, but I haven't seen them lose.
So explain to me one.
Undefeated son is hard to cry about.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing to cry about. He's knocking people in the ropes in a few seconds.
Tell me one memorable moment you got in them fighting. One memorable moment.
When what?
One memorable moment of them winning.
Who was that guy you fought?
Ron Marquez Jr.
Yes, that was a nice
Were
fight.
you yelling and screaming?
Yes.
And crying?
Yes. I had tears.
He was supposed to be like
He had a lot more fights than Adrian. Adrian came in there with 7 fights turned open for the Golden Gloves, and that guy had over 50 fights at the time. You know what I mean? He was predicted to win Texas. Adrian came out of nowhere and stopped him.
He said, "Come here, Scorpion."
Nobody knew who he was at the time.
What did you tell him when you got to him? Finally got to him. What did you say? I want to know what you said.
To Adrian?
Yeah.
I was just hugged him and loved him and kissed him.
She told me, "You did it, you won." She was crying.
Yeah.
She was crying. I told her, "Mama, don't cry." And she was like, "I'm happy, son, you did it." She was already losing her voice from screaming. It was just a lot of action going on. And that's the first woman I seen whenever I stepped out the ring, and she was there and she was crying. I remember, and she was like, "You did it." And I was like, "Mama, don't cry." And she's like, "No." She was just full of joy and happiness.
Hey, let me add on one thing to that. Adrian had already quit boxing. Adrian had started, he was gonna box some dude in the streets. So he came to my apartments, beat 3-4 dudes in the streets right there that day, same day. Big guy heard about it on the streets. He was like, "Oh, hey, man, who's this Adrian? Hey, I got him. His name was Jello." He said, "I got him, big heavyweight dude."
You can't win.
Hey. They caught him out. Adrian started training. Jello heard about Adrian, who he really was.
Just like a Kimbo Slice type.
Yeah. It was gonna be a thing like that. Money involved and everything. Jello backed out. Adrian entered his Golden Gloves. Had him boxing 5 years. Won.
Nice.
Man. So beat that ass, huh?
Yeah.
So no Plex Pequeno, but
Destiny, my man.
Look your head, boy.
Wow.
When you got it.
So at what age, Elijah, did you decide I want to join the family business? I want to start kicking ass for a living. Other than what I think is before I get to you though, you said something, He got in 3 fights the day of his real fight. That sounds like Roy Jones type stuff. Like Roy Jones would play basketball, 10 games or whatever, and go straight to the ring and win a championship. So that's an indication that you're going to be a champ. I think you're going to be a champ, man, because Roy Jones did it, and then but the difference, you were Kimbo slicing in the streets as a kid. So
almost won it.
After Kimbo slicing, You're not kibble slicing, are you?
No,
Okay,
sir.
okay,
No,
okay, I
sir.
was
Not
like,
at all.
So it's only in the ring.
Because I was gonna
Only
tell
in
you-
the ring, yeah.
I was gonna tell you, if you are, when they hit you, they hit me. When you
They can't hit what they can't see,
Oh.
alright?
She's
Alright?
got a daddy's confidence.
it's in the blood.
And it's getting to be like a thing. Everybody comes to this podcast talking a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, but y'all know this. Y'all back it up. Y'all are backing it up here. Y'all are in the ring saying, whoever want to get it, come get it. And then Jimmy's backing y'all too, saying, come on. Getting drunk, calling promoters and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Calling them out.
I scratched that out, engineer. No one was drunk when
No,
I called
he
for a
wasn't.
timeout. I was mad. So what do you? Okay, for the listeners out there, what Sal Max is talking about is we actually had Adrian received a phone call from Top Rank, and they said, hey, we want you to fight. What's his name?
Joseph.
Javier Martinez.
Javier Martinez. So he was an Olympic hopeful that is now 3-0, and he's being groomed by the big leagues.
Top rank.
Yeah, by Top Rank. And so Adrian immediately got the phone call and said, "Oh crap, you know what? I guess we're a small circle." And so he called his some people on his team. They call a manager. He calls me, "Hey, I want you to finesse this deal to make sure it happens." And so I'm in the middle of something else, and everyone's looking at me like, "Where the hell is he going?" I just take off. And so I'm on the phone. We end up doubling the purse, and then we couldn't get too much more as far as clearance because COVID protocol in Vegas is still a real thing. We were only gonna be able to get, I think it was one coach, and it was one coach and you.
Yeah, 2 coaches. Yeah.
Oh, 2 coaches. All right, so that was the minimum he allowed because his other coach is Gabe Bernal with Movida Fight. Yeah. And
Shout out to Gabe.
Yeah, so Mike and Gabe. Oh, Mike's the brother, Gabe's the cousin, and so when that happened, man, he said, you guys 35. Until that thing worked out, and I was like, well, it hasn't really worked out. But I think Adrian maybe scared them because he's like, no, I'm fit, and then and then they start seeing videos of him.
Yeah.
And they tell me he didn't make the cut. So I call some other promoters that I know, and I said, hey, can you really look into this? The Nevada State Commission blocked a 2-0 to fight a 3-0 because of what? Lack of what experience? Yeah, it makes no sense. It's just like one more fight. Yeah. And couldn't find out it wasn't that they say he was too old or he didn't have experience. It was the fact that they said they had 40 other people that could take a loss. So that's what I love about the Pequeno clan is that they duck nobody.
They ain't never scared.
They say, hey,
TTJ.
If I get in the ring, you gotta see me, you gotta feel me. Yeah. And I heard you say that, and so that's why I'll never get in the ring with you unless it's to like hand you a belt or like some water.
Right. Joe Chris can back it up. My cut man over there, he's been there.
Yeah, man.
He sees the eyes. He knows what time it is when we're in the ring.
It's legit. Me and Gabe look at each other in the corner like, what the hell is on this boy's mind? Like, it's beast mode right away.
So, I got a question for you, right? I asked the same question to a Pequeno here, Pedro Pequeno.
You changed his name to Pedro. It's actually
we're naming him Pedro Pequeno.
Yeah, so you also know we had an interview with Adrian. It's not out yet, but we actually changed it into Pedro because we have the dog in the fight. And he has the dog. So we call him Pedro. Yeah, like the guy, for what he lacks in experience sometimes, he overcompensates in dogness. Like, so that's so listeners know what the Pedro is. But you asked the Pedro something.
Yes, so I asked the Pedro something, and then I'm gonna ask you the same question. Before you get in the fight, right? Before you get into this ring, what do you tell yourself to hype yourself up to motivate yourself to jump in this fight, man? What do you tell yourself in your head? You know what I'm saying?
Like before I fight,
before you fight.
Honestly, I like to be calm. I like to listen to like worship music to kind of calm the nerves. I like to be peaceful. Peaceful. So when I go in there, I'm in my zone and I'm prepared for anything.
Okay, so when you first get in there, what's the first thing you look for from a fighter? Like when you walk in, are you looking for the power, how they react to your
Honestly, I'm making them react to me before I have to react to them.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Can't give too many secrets away. Come on.
Can I ask you something? Is it just me or am I the only one that's scared of her?
No,
trust me, we all are.
So I saw her in the gym one day, and then Mike being a great father, he said, "Hey, I want to work with you. Let's get something going." But he asked me, doing his due diligence, and I was like, guys, I could never cross any of y'all because I'm scared. Y'all
I felt his forearm earlier. Her forearm is like a rock. I felt mine over
You
there.
see me wearing long sleeves. I wouldn't cover it on my hands because I was like, she got more muscles than me. I gotta cover them up.
Hey, I got a question here. So, when did you guys actually, or how did it come about by meeting Movida? How did you guys meet up to get with Movida?
Hey,
Game?
Movida to you, like just so the listeners out there.
Look, first of all, Gabe Bernard happened to be my grandpa's nephew down the line. So at the end of the day, it was blood. And then we didn't know this till later on. You know what I mean? Everybody gets caught up in their family situations. Everybody goes their own way. So when we found it out, and he was like, you know, my grandma and my grandpa were telling us, yeah, I got my nephew. He's in the boxing game as well. Hey, so we got the invitation one day. We started showing up, and the rest is history. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. He's always been all about the family and helping us out. Like he supported us and he supports us today 100%. You know,
and that's why we're at where we're at. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if blood or water. Real recognize real.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that because we you know, I didn't know you guys either, and it was because of Gabe and you know he been telling me like these guys are the real deal. You know, we just sometimes we just gotta put them in the right position, and little did we know that God would put us all together at some point, and I'm not, guys, just so you know, Mike just wows me. Like when I see him come into the gym and just start correcting kids and just say you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. I mean, I asked him off to the side. I said, "Hey, can you train Sydney and can you train?" And he had a whole class in the ring, and these guys went double time. I mean, they started probably at 5 or so, and it was probably 10:30 when everybody left the gym, and he wanted to keep going. I mean, it's
That's great.
Let me add on to that. Elaborate one time. Look, I don't look at no professional more than I look at any amateur. At the end of the day, everybody got the vision, and nobody wants to lose. So when I see anybody hitting that punching bag, putting in the work, there ain't no need for anybody to be putting in work and doing it in vain. You know what I mean? Hitting the wrong way or something, and they're not getting nowhere with it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you gotta add your 2 cents in, because if we ain't got no teacher, then what's the point of doing it? You're gonna stay in the same place and doing everything just to do it, even though you got the work ethic. If you ain't doing it the right way, you ain't going nowhere with it.
what's that old saying? If work beats talent when talent don't work hard, or hard work beats talent. So
That's some real shit.
I have a question though, just because I'm gonna do an audible. I told everybody watching, when I do this, I'm gonna do audible. I'm tired of listening to this shit. I don't hate boxing anymore because I can't box for crap, and I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about something I'm good at. I'm good at caring about people, and I care about you guys, so I want to ask a question. So like, when you walk me through, were you like 8 years old, 9 years old, or you said 13? I think you're
14.
14 started boxing, but I know the good parts of boxing. Especially if you're a winner like you win and people give you medals and clap. I know the bad side of it where like you lose and everything. And your mom doesn't cry you made it. Your mom says, "I told you, go back to baseball." So I can get interviewed on the other side of boxing, but I want to ask you, has there been a point where for the kids listening, my daughter's an athlete. I have a gymnast. I have a boxer daughter. Got different. Mm-hmm. Is there ever a point that you've reached where you say, you know what, man, this is great, but I don't like it because of this? Has there ever been a moment where you have to decide, do I want to keep going or like, because there's kids out there that are
it happens a lot, honestly, because boxing is a very lonely sport. I feel like you have to have a lot of self-discipline. You have to if you want to take it serious, you have to put all the bull crap to the side and focus on it, because, like I said, you get what you put in.
Do you ever miss, like, just fuck it, I'm eating a chocolate cake?
Hey, it goes through my head every day. But I have my grandma, you gotta be 112 pounds, Aliyah. I'm like, I know, that's only 15 pounds to lose. Okay, I can do it. But no, it happens a lot. But I would say my school life, I played soccer. There was days that I would be so sleepy from training because I would wake up like at 4 a.m. to go run. My teachers would get mad and call my dad, "Elias sleeping in class,"
He was who cares? She was sleeping in the ring. I'm building gladiators. School teachers.
But Yeah.
We're good. She needs a rest.
Hey, what was that movie Gladiator where the guy goes, "What's your occupation?" I'm a blacksmith. I'm a blacksmith. And the other guy goes, he goes, "Spartans, what's your occupation?" And they're like, "Haru, Haru, Haru." But I wanted to ask you, when I asked about your school life, it's like, do you feel like anything was sacrificed? Like do you feel that, man, but do you even miss it? Because whenever you're growing up, you're in the teen years. There's always like, I don't know, the plastic. Room fighters to go places, and then there's fighters that as they're coming up, they got to pay their dues by fighting the toughest that are on TV already or doing something big. The part no one knows about is that a lot of times they're getting their ass kicked by these up and coming people, but it's not their turn to get paid yet, so they just keep them on they keep that quiet. Yeah. So. But in any case, so right now, looking back, if you could give any 12, 13-year-old girl advice, what would you tell her?
I would tell her, focus on the bigger picture. Yeah, there might be distractions on the way, but honestly, just focus. Keep your mind made up. And when you have your mind made up, be unstoppable. Be untouchable, because don't be like everybody, because it's easy to go to parties. It's easy to drink. It's easy to smoke, but it's not easy to be great in something. It's very hard. Yeah. That's why you don't see too many people being great in something. You see a lot of drunks. You see a lot of druggies. Like, you see a lot of nobodies. But it's hard to be a somebody in this world. So let that be your motivation.
I love it. So guys, everybody that knows me has heard this once or twice. Say you pay now, you play later. If you play now, you'll pay later. Yeah. And so I think that you've been paying now, and someday you're gonna play later. And so from our friends, we'll roll into the commercial. But from our friends at Coach at the Woodlands, we want to prepare you for the time where you have to. All right, you're gonna debut as a pro, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're obviously gonna get some money.
Oh.
Ain't gonna be a lot of money at first. So I'm not gonna get you. So Coach said, "We're gonna give you the biggest bag." But they're going to give you the Willis from the J-Lo collection. Just came out, and it's and they were able to hook us up with Movida, Coach Price. Open it up.
Thank you.
What does it look like? Let's see. Open it
Let
up.
me untie this. Let's see.
Hey, hold on. Where's my coach at?
You are the coach. You are the coach.
That's actually why our
Let's see what it looks like.
Let's see.
Went out to Coach because we had a coach on those box, and we felt that would be a good look.
All right. Here's the bag.
Here we go.
Beautiful.
And that's the J-Lo.
Couple grand in there.
Hey, I'm a boxer, but I still need to look cute, right? That's the little bag. Thank y'all so much. Like, I love it. I need a purse.
So as you know me, I always got a stretch goal. I'm sitting there, Coach. I said, "That's so beautiful." I'm telling them the story of what I'm going to go do tonight. So today, I ended up going. Edit no. Okay, so I ended up, I'm at Coach, and I'm telling them what I'm getting ready for. And I said, "Hey, I need y'all to hurry up because I got to go to the show."
Yeah.
And
I called you guys.
Yeah. I was like, "Man, I got something going on. I'm going to go work on it, right?" So I was getting some my family or whatnot, and then we started talking, because we've been talking to Coach for a little bit about the show. I think it was Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Spring North, on I-45 on 2920. Jordan Kaufman, sales manager. Thank you so much for support. And if you buy that vehicle, State Farm, Kerry Trigg, we'll take care of you.
State Farm, Jimmy's World, Jimmy's World,
They'll tell you for free.
Right. As we were talking at Coach, I said this girl's gonna get a little money, not a lot, so we need a small, pretty bag.
Yeah.
But then I told him about the coach the coach and the son who's a pro boxer already.
Yeah.
I think, well, the mama's gonna need a bigger bag.
Uh-oh.
What?
What? She got a big bag. What's going on here?
They're in a host.
For my friends at Movida, Coach, thank you so much for sharing the family with us. Show us what you got.
How many bands?
That's the real coach.
Did you look inside of it, Amaya?
She's the life coach.
All right, y'all. Hey, we like to thank Coach at the Woodlands.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Handing out these Coach original Willis bag that was featured in the J-Lo campaign. Y'all head out to the Woodlands, Coach, and y'all go check these folks out. And they'll help
Ask
y'all.
for Sylvia or Brittany. And also, there is a phone number. There's a phone number you can text and say.
Yeah, feel free to text at
Happy
833.
Mother's Day, Mama.
Thank you.
That's gonna match that gold chain.
She can fit that pistol up in there.
That's
When you got the
nice.
racks, you gotta hold it down.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
Again.
yes, it
That's
is.
beautiful.
And now
Oh my
to
gosh,
make to get these things paid for, guys.
Again, big shout out to the Coach in the Woodlands Mall here. Thank you for the Willis bag that was featured in the J-Lo campaign. Feel free to text 832-662-0678. They want to say thank you for representing for all the women everywhere. And thank you guys at Coach. And,
Hit that number one more again.
It is 832-662-0678.
Then we will put it in the link below. Ask for Sylvia or Brittany. They will take care of you. Tell them Jimmy's World sent you and enjoy 10%
Thank you.
So can y'all tell me when your next fight is?
I got one coming up June 12th,
Oh, yeah.
Galveston, Texas.
And where can folks find these tickets at? Where can they go and get these tickets and represent
You can find me on Facebook under No Plex Pequeno. You can find it under Movida Management, Jimmy's World. So there's multiple areas through Movida.
Instagram, rock solid.
I will tell you guys, because we are managing two fighters, we have Shane Evans on that card and we have Adrian. Please do not go to my bio and just click on that link if you want to support Adrian. We are going to be having an event 5:30. What I'm going to do is, if you want Adrian Pequeno tickets and you don't have a credit card or something, whatever, we can run it and you can just pay me later. Just let me know, commit, anyone that knows me. But besides that, do not go straight to the link in the bio, because that is right now his link has not been set up just yet.
I say hi.
So hey, come on in. Who do we got here? So hey, who do we got here? Mark or someone? Do you owe tax dollars or you owe tax money? Bill collector? What? That is not Cassie.
These my peoples that love the support. Yeah, support Jimmy's World, know the cast.
So tell us, come on here. No, I want to know who we got. I want to know who we got.
Got wine glass and everything. Ready to go.
Oh, okay, guys. I blame my wife for that. My wife will get you.
I told you get me a solo cup, just saying.
So look.
Hi, Mark. Love you.
Love you too.
And I'm representing all of y'all tonight.
I appreciate
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. What's your name? Tell us who you are.
My name is Jimmy Lee James. I'm from Roatan, and I also grew up in New Orleans. I'm a New Orleans girl.
You never know what'll happen on Jimmy's World. Get a lock on the goddamn door.
What else, Steve? Love you, man.
Yeah. And he's also here, but he's not here. But he's here.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
just Alana's downstairs though.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You know, editing costs a lot of money, so let's finish this shit up and then get to the next.
So, Mom, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So, these are fighters, right? These are fighters.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of problems with them, you say? I mean, fighters always got to get problems no matter what, right?
They like to fight, right?
Tell me, how do you talk to them when they're young? What did you say to them when they were young? Like, tell me one moment when you spoke to these kids.
You ain't no talking in the house. It's ass whoopings.
When you spoke to them and from your heart and said, hey, you got to fix yourself. What did you say? Because there's mothers listening to us.
They had to love each other, hug, and kiss each other.
How is the sweetest lady in the world mother to the toughest men in the world?
That's what I used to tell them. They couldn't treat each other bad.
I remember them days. Y'all better get over here and hug. And you turn the cheek and try to hug. No, y'all gonna do that again.
There you go.
So when it got real stressful, I mean, let's give some advice to the mothers that are listening. What do you say to a mother, let's say a single mother, raising kids like this? I mean, what do you say to her?
Well, never give up on your kids. Love them. Do anything you can do to make it better. There's nice ways to punish your kids. I mean, ground them or take things away that they like to do, you know. I mean, don't spank them or beat them, because I didn't do that to my children.
But they don't listen, though.
Well, I think one time I got on the
chocolate, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mark doesn't have any children in case he has to listen.
Hey, oh
You got onto him?
At one time, he said a bad word to his sister, and I never hit him, but I slapped him at that moment.
With the fear of God in him.
And I said, never speak to your daughter, my daughter like that. That's your sister. I said, you don't ever do that.
It wasn't nothing when we would fight, but when I told my sister something,
Respect.
Yeah, she got me.
What's up?
Oh, yes.
I got another question for Mike here. Mike, you got a daughter now, right? How do you motivate your daughter to do what she has to do? How do you speak with her? I mean, do you speak aggressive? What do you do, man, to motivate her to do what she got to do? Go to school.
I've raised my daughters for the last 10 years by myself.
Wow.